is often the little things which are taken for granted. But subtract the little things, and you know what happens? The big things cease to exist. The one commonality that all living humans have is a functioning breath. However, a lot of us are breathing so much on autopilot that we are unable to distinguish good breathing from bad breathing. The purpose of this course is to help you understand how to breathe effectively, the importance of breathing correctly, and you're going to learn this unique concept known as ninja breathing. Yes, it is unique because it's going to give you a solid framework on how you can breathe efficiently so you can control your emotions, so you could have a stronger, more resonant voice, and so you can feel calm externally as well as internally. Are you ready to improve the small facets of your life? If so, I look forward to seeing you inside. The importance of breathing correctly cannot be exaggerated, mainly because when we are not breathing correctly, the different elements of our life starts to fall apart. When you are breathing incorrectly, what starts to happen is that you start to have racing thoughts. Due to racing thoughts, you start to emotionally feel in a negative state. Due to being in a negative state, you have more racing thoughts, and this is what I call the toxic loop of destruction. But let's switch that. Let's imagine that you do breathe correctly. When breathing effectively, you have a much stronger voice. Whatever stronger means for you. If you are a woman, then you speak with more confidence. If you are a man, you speak with more confidence because your breath, structured in a unique way, is your voice. Another thing that happens is that once you start breathing correctly, you start to control your emotional states at will. You ever had that one time when someone cut you off in traffic and all you could do was think about cutting them back off? How was your breath then? Was it jumpy? Was it loud? Was it sporadic? I'm sure it was. Now imagine if you were able to silence that breath, take longer breaths. What would have happened was you would have been brought back to the present moment. So not only do you control your emotions, you also live in the present. So many people are taking drugs, alcohol, and overdoing it mainly because they are living in their heads too much. With proper breathing, they will find happiness in the present moment. And it's difficult to think your way into something, and it's much easier to breathe your way into something. So if breathing properly allows you to be in the present moment, then you are finding a hidden elixir to life. The importance of breathing comes down to improving your voice, improving your emotional state, living in the present moment. And these are just 3 of the many benefits once you start taking the small things much more seriously. One of the ways that people learn effectively is through analogies. And since the breath is invisible, what we want to do is we want to create an analogy of the breath with something that we can perceive, something that our senses are capable of understanding. From here on out, I want you to view the breath as a remote controller. Not any kind of remote controller, but it's a remote controller to your internal world. It's a remote controller to control your emotional states. And this is going to make more sense later on as we start to discuss what is good breathing versus bad breathing. But from here on out, start to get familiarized with this idea. Breathing equals an emotional remote controller. The more that you view it as this remote controller, the more that you are on your path to improving emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is not about getting in a circle and crying all day. It's one of the most courageous things that you can do. This is when your mind, breath, body are all aligned towards a common purpose. And it's difficult to align all of these. It's a skill. And luckily, with this remote controller that we have at our disposal, we can align it at will. So from here on out, your breath is a tool to improve your emotional intelligence because it is your emotional remote controller. Let's talk about good breathing versus bad breathing. Do you want the good news first or do you want the bad news first? The bad news? Okay. Bad breathing is when your breaths can be heard. Let me say that again. Bad breathing is when your breaths can be heard, which means that your breaths are choppy. It's loud. It's audible to other people. And normally when your breaths are short, choppy, and loud, most likely you're having a lot of anxious thoughts, dark thoughts, or draining thoughts. These are what I call bad breathing. Good breathing, on the other hand, comes down to silent breaths. It cannot be heard. And whenever your breath is silent, what's happening is that your diaphragm is getting engaged as well. Whenever your diaphragm is getting engaged, your lungs are taking in more oxygen and you are feeling much better. Okay? So from here on out, whenever you could hear your breaths, and I'm assuming other people can hear it too, then you are not breathing correctly and make yourself aware. When your breath is silent, you are on the right track and you won't be able to hear it. However, you will be able to feel it. Trying to breathe correctly with a poor body posture is equivalent to trying to win a bicycle race with a rusty bike. Can you do it? Maybe. But it's going to require a whole bunch more effort from you. And even if you were to win, it would be a miracle. Likewise, if you're trying to silence your breath with poor body language, can you do it? Probably. But it's going to require way too much effort from you. Poor body language is when it looks like you just got caught for stealing something. You're over here making yourself small, trying to hide yourself, touching your neck a lot. You look unconfident. On the other hand, great body language, strong body language is when it looks like you're about to pick up $1 billion check. Just envision that with me for a second. You are about to pick up $1 billion check. You are the CEO of a planet. Do those narratives make you feel a certain type of way? Don't you feel bigger? Don't you feel as though you can take on the entire world? That's how your body language should be. Shoulders peeled back, chest out, chin up. These are just some ways where you're making it easier to silence your breath. And you'll notice when your body language is correct, where it's big, you don't have to take too much effort into silencing your breath. Your breath just starts to flow. So try to look at your body language. Use your awareness to assess how your body language normally is. And the more that you see yourself being a draining sort of body language, consciously take the effort to remind yourself that you are the CEO of a planet. You are about to pick up $1 billion check, and that's when you're going to feel much bigger again. Now's the time for the coveted ninja breathing. A ninja is stealth. You don't know when a ninja is in your house because they're silent. And that's what your breath should be like as well. It should mimic a ninja. I want you to find a quiet place where you can improve your body language. You could either be sitting or standing. At first, I want you to fix your body language to a point where you feel big. Then, what I want you to do is practice silencing your breath. It's not immediately going to happen, especially if you're someone who has had loud breaths for a long period of time. It's going to require some conscious effort. And the more that you're practicing, the more that you'll notice that your breath is becoming deeper and deeper and deeper. For the longest time, you were probably breathing from the shoulders or from the neck, or worse, from the head. And now you are gradually training yourself into making your breath longer and longer and longer. So find a silent spot so you can get your ears activated as well. Can you hear your breath or not? That's the main barometer for success. And the more that you're silencing your breath, feel how it feels. Do you feel calmer, more relaxed, more at present? If so, then you are on the right track. There are plenty of different times that you can practice ninja breathing. You can make it a part of your lifestyle. However, in the beginning stages, you want to have certain frameworks to look out for as you are easing it into your lifestyle. So one of the things that I recommend is finding a way to do it in the morning. Because naturally, we're busy people. We want to implement a new habit into our life, but life gets in the way. Our schedules get busy, days get hectic, and if we save a great habit for later on in the day, in the beginning stages, there's no saying whether or not we're actually going to do it. So I recommend as you're waking up in the morning, get it over with in the morning. Spend at least 2 to 5 minutes silencing your breath, making yourself aware, and training yourself on how you can consistently silence the breath. By doing it in the morning, you set a great foundation for the rest of the day. You'll notice as you do ninja breathing in the morning, you start to feel calmer throughout the day. You're not losing your temper as fast, and you're being more charming with other people as well because you are present in the interaction and you're not just planning the next thing that you're going to say. So that's one advice that I have for you. Do ninja breathing in the morning. Another scenario for when you could do ninja breathing is during turmoil. Sometimes the turmoil can be smaller scaled. Let's say someone does cut you off in traffic. You may feel rage, anger. And at that point, you may want to cut the other person back off. But this is the perfect time to exercise ninja breathing. Silence your breath. Make it real to you. You'll notice anytime you're feeling angry, this is one of the greatest times to implement a new habit because you're in this hyper learning mode. And once you see yourself changing physiologically from being livid to now feeling calmer, to now no longer finding the need to cut this guy back off, now ninja breathing is something that is real for you, and you're probably going to do it again in the near future. Another time for turmoil is, let's say you have to give a best man speech in front of 500 people at your brother's wedding, and you know a lot of these people, which is making you even more nervous. You don't want to be mentally saying, oh, you could do this, yeah, you could do this speech. But what if you can't? Oh no, what if you forget a point? And you're getting lost in this mental chatter? Don't do any of that. Once again, make ninja breathing real. During this moment of turmoil, silence your breath. Bring yourself to the present moment. You have been preparing for the speech, so you will do amazing. All you gotta do is bring yourself back in the present moment. These are some other times to do ninja breathing during turmoil. Turmoil in the morning, these are great moments to slowly incorporate ninja breathing into your life. So thus far, we've covered some concepts in regards to breathing. Let's do a quick recap to make sure that you understand the crucial points. The importance of breathing cannot be understated. Just because it's something that we do daily does not mean that we should undermine its importance. The reason that we want to breathe correctly is because it is going to give us a strong, confident voice. It's going to allow us to feel better in a stronger emotional state. And we are going to be in the present moment. There's a big difference between good breathing and bad breathing. Bad breathing is when your breaths are loud, other people can hear it, and it's causing a ruckus, making you feel anxious. Good breathing is when your breath is silent. Whenever your breath is silent, that means your diaphragm is getting engaged, and this is a type of breathing that is earned. If you want to earn this breathing, then you must have good body posture. You don't want sloppy body language. You don't want to look like you just stole something. You want to make yourself big, powerful, strong, like you're about to pick up $1 billion check or whatever allows you to feel powerful. With strong body language, great breathing becomes a byproduct. It becomes much easier. To test this out, we're going to do a type of breathing called ninja breathing. 2 great times to do ninja breathing is either in the morning or during a moment of turmoil. This is when we are actively silencing our breath. It's going to take some time because for a long period of time, we were probably breathing incorrectly. Therefore, we are training ourselves into a new way of existence. During the morning and during moments of turmoil, we slowly start to incorporate ninja breathing into our life. Silent breaths with strong body language is what allows us to slowly but surely rewire our breathing patterns for efficiency. Now's the time for the class project. What I want you to do is spend the next 7 days practicing ninja breathing. And I encourage you to do it in the morning. Whatever your morning routine is, sneak in ninja breathing into it as well. You could do it for 1 minute. You could do it for 10 minutes. Pick a time limit that you know that you can be consistent with. Along with doing it in the morning, if for the next 7 days you are having a moment of turmoil, let's say someone cuts you off in traffic, let's say your coworker has been gossiping about you, let's say you have a speech coming up, during any moments of turmoil, I also want you to incorporate ninja breathing into those moments. 7 days is all I ask. Once the 7 days are up, I want you to come back and I want you to give a paragraph talking about your experience. How was it? Were you that bad of a breather where doing ninja breathing was an eye-opening experience because it brought conscious awareness to how you have to silence your breath? Or were you just a few tweaks away from already have been doing ninja breathing? Be as detailed as you can, because the more detailed that you are, the more that you start to bring conscious awareness to how you breathe. And the more awareness that you have, the easier that it becomes to breathe correctly on autopilot in the near future. So spend the next 7 days practicing ninja breathing, come back, write the paragraph, post it in the class project section. If you enjoyed this class and you want to stay updated with the Armani Talks brand, be sure to check out armanitalks.com. Within this website, I drop videos, blogs, podcasts, books, along with other content pieces discussing soft skills such as public speaking, emotional intelligence, social skills, along with other topics. armanitalks.com, and I look forward to hearing from you.